We apologize for the interruption to this broadcast. Please stand by for a national emergency warning. We apologize for the interruption to this broadcast. Please stand by for a national emergency warning. This is an emergency advice. An unknown species of wild rose plant has begun appearing in large quantities in many areas across Melbourne. The current threat level is emergency advice, meaning an emergency is likely. At present the plants do not pose a direct threat to human life. However, their rapid proliferation, and ability to grow on a variety of surfaces, is concerning authorities. There is potential for significant damage to property should the growth of the wild rose plants remain at its current level. Wild rose plants have been observed rapidly growing across buildings close to water sources. Several buildings close to the Yarra River in Melbourne have been completely engulfed by the wild rose plants. All persons are advised not to approach, touch or smell the wild roses until further advised. Any person who has a respiratory condition such as asthma or hay fever should move indoors now. If you are outside, consider wearing your mask or moving indoors as soon as possible. Return to your home or place of work and stay there. Analysis of the wild rose plants is currently in progress. Further information will be broadcast when available. This is an emergency watch and act advice. The wild rose plants infesting Melbourne are now considered hostile and a threat to life and property. The current threat level is watch and act, meaning that you should be aware that an incident is taking place, and you should seek a place of safety immediately. Seek shelter now. Seek a place of safety now. The rapid growth and spread of the wild rose plants across Melbourne has continued. Wild rose infestations have now been reported in each capital city and are believed widespread across many major centres. Commonly, each infestation is located near a major water source. The Melbourne CBD has been severely impacted, with scores of buildings being quickly covered with rose vine and damaged by the plants. Several skyscrapers have been covered in vine with windows destroyed by the pressure from the vine. Workers in the buildings are being evacuated. A person has been believed to be killed by the wild rose plants. The person was observed to have approached a building covered in the plant vine in an attempt to take a photograph. Several vines quickly detached themselves from the building and wrapped themselves around the person, striking them with thorns and immobilizing them. The person was then dragged into and covered by the massive plants. Do not approach any wild rose plant or vine. Sap from the thorn of the plant is considered deadly. The plants appear to be reacting to proximity of humans and animals nearby. Seek shelter now. Seek a place of safety now. Stay inside. Do not go out. Stay away from doors and windows and move to a central place of shelter immediately. This is an emergency warning. The current threat level is emergency, meaning that an emergency is in progress that will affect you and you should take action now to ensure your survival. Seek shelter now. Seek a place of safety now. Wild rose infestations are now considered an extreme threat to life. Wild rose plants have begun to release dense clouds of spores causing fog-like conditions. These spores are causing severe respiratory distress and suffocation in any person exposed. Move indoors immediately. Close all windows and doors. Cease using air conditioning and block any vents or cracks allowing outside air to enter. Move to the most central part of the building you are occupying and stay there. Wild rose vines have intensified damage to buildings and infrastructure. Buildings across Sydney and Melbourne have been impacted. The Australia 108 Tower in Melbourne and the Centre Point Tower in Sydney have been overrun by vines and are considered possibly compromised. Wild rose vine attacks on humans and animals have escalated. Multiple reports of vines killing people and animals have been received. Elizabeth Quay in Perth has seen a mass attack on evacuating residents and guests of the towers. Due to the nature of the attacks, exact numbers of casualties are unknown at this time. Move indoors immediately. Close all windows and doors. Cease using air conditioning and block any vents or cracks allowing outside air to enter. Move to the most central part of the building you are occupying and stay there. Should you need to evacuate and move outdoors, Ensure you are wearing at a minimum a mask for breathing and sealed goggles for eye protection. Spore fog exposure will cause respiratory distress in minutes and death shortly thereafter. Minimize your exposure as much as possible. Stay tuned to this broadcast or your emergency radio frequency for more information. Updated announcements will follow shortly.